Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Union Cross. So we're going to quickly go over the first couple updates, and half of this video is going to be me talking about the VIP medal, the EX medal, and HPO, what's going on, what I'm doing with them. So right now we got a Boo Doll shoulder, which is basically plus 6 skill perk, and if we look at our skills, our outfits basically that have skill perks on them, let me just go to accessories. I'm going to fill this to, I believe, what was that, a chest B. Chest B for a Boo. So for chest B with skill perks, this is what you guys have. You got that traditional prep ribbon, you got that brooch, you got the Snowy Bear bell, and then the limited edition ones, which is the Winter Mickey, Santa Mickey doll, and the Moogle doll. Moogle doll, I believe, was from another Union Cross quest, so this might be a thing that they bring out for Union Cross every so often. But so far we got 3 items with plus 6 skill perk. So we got that Moogle, that Mickey, and now we have a Boo. I might switch up to a Boo, but I really like the Mickey. I can finally switch over my actual avatar, because I was using that avatar to farm the HPO medals a lot better. But this is what I usually use, and you guys can see I have 24 skill perks. So if you guys want to have like at least 18 or 24 or 22, I believe, skill perk, 21 skill perk, sorry, 21 skill perk. You guys are going to have a good time with a Boo doll. Very good time, because that's plus 6 right there. And having more skill perk means more skills procking. So if a skill says 39% skill perk proc, then you're going to increase that by whatever skill perk you have. The math's a little weird. It's not like you get 24%. It's a little bit multiplication there. But if you guys want to know, I'll leave it in the description or in the comment section. If I forget, someone hook us up. So yeah. That's that part. So Union Cross, 4 boards, 1 week. I love it this way. Also, because we had HPO medals, we only got 4 boards because they were giving us an event medal, and it was over 2 weeks, which kind of sucked. If it was supposed to be like the normal way, over 2 weeks, there were supposed to be 8 boards, which means more jewels. But sadly, it didn't do that because we're farming HPO medals, so they didn't give us 8 boards, which I had a ton of Union Cross coins. But for this one, we do got... I'm so bad at clicking, it's terrible. I clicked every single one besides the one I wanted. So again, it's here 1 week. It's got 4 boards. The one phrase I actually really like, and I'm pretty sure someone else will really like it too. Darkness awaits. That's pretty cool. I like that one there. Honestly, at the same time, chat phrases, I don't see the point of them besides the useful ones like over here, ooh, rare, thank you. All that, you know what I mean? Sorry, like you screwed up or you're about to die, and help. Stuff like that is useful to communicate, but the rest of it is just like, someone's running behind. Time to sleep! Ha! And then just runs away. I'm like, what is the point of that chat phrase? What are you trying to say to me? Am I supposed to go to sleep? Are you gonna sleep? Should I help you? It's just like, I don't know. I guess they're just for fun, but at the same time, I really wish they had like an in-game chat where we can like, I don't know, leave something helpful besides like these 1 or 2 word sentences, and it just drives me crazy. But at the same time, it's whatever. They might improve on it. But again, plus 6 skill perk, 4 boards, 1 week. I love it. I didn't have to exit all that. Let's go back in and let's talk about this real quick. It's not permanent. Let's go to the next one. I'm still waiting for daily jewels to be permanent. Ooh, wait, okay, I lied. Let's stay here for a second. Look at the bottom. This time, all enemies will be of the power attribute. I don't think they've ever done that before, or they might have, and I just never read it because I don't care enough besides seeing that it's daily or if it's permanent. When I see the notice and it says permanent, I'll read the whole notice. But until then, if I see a date on the banner right there, you see 8/7/12 a.m., I don't care. But for some reason, I decided to read the bottom of the notice, and I was like, did they always write that? You're facing power enemies, so get your powerful magic medals. Honestly, that's just trying to pump up the magic medals at the moment, which obviously is... Did I say obviously twice so fast? Yeah, I did. So bad. I'm so bad at this. But we have the EX Sora and the HD Wisdom Form Sora. So they're like, you want to beat this daily challenge, guys, which is pretty easy. Grab our EX banner. You know, you might get that Wisdom Form Sora. Well, you'll guarantee it in like 5 turns. But you guys know what I mean. They're trying to just sell it. They're trying to sell it there. I just never noticed that. So anyways, enough with all the randomness, and let's get into... Not this yet. Let me get into this real quick, guys. I might make a separate video talking about this in detail. But I want to talk about what I'm doing with my HPO medals. Now, As you guys can see, I have them all separate, and they're gonna stay separate until I need them. I made my one copy of HPO. Let me go look for it real quick, which is somewhere between all these polls I did for some reason. There it is. Okay, never mind. There is no polls in between that. There's just those 2 polls. So, Hainer, Pence, and Olette. I got mine at 47% gilted and had extra attack on it. So I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do now is keep all these separate just in case I want to switch traits. If I ever want new traits or I want to put 2 of these together. Guys, take this in consideration. When you have one HPO medal gilted and has extra attack, you can get a second one with extra attack, but it doesn't have to be gilted. You do not need to gilt your second copy of HPO or any copies you want to make an HPO. You can have HPOs with defense boost 4. You can have HPOs with second chance. You can have HPOs with paralysis. No, they're single target. So the plus skills are not a good idea. But you can have HPOs all with different skills, all with different traits. I'm planning to make non-gilted versions of HPO that have paralysis, that have sleep, that have poison, resist. I want to make a bunch of copies, one of each, if I can. Again, it's all RNG, but that's why they're all separate. I'm going to try it, and then I'm going to make them into 6 stars, but not dotted. Dotted, obviously, because of how many times I have to re-roll traits. I'll do it on one copy, then the other, and if it becomes gilted, oh well, it's gilted. But the gilt's not necessary. I just want to make extra copies of HPO that have different traits, like plus 800 HP with defense boost 4 might be better for certain situations. So that's what I'm doing with my HPO medals. They're all staying 5 stars for now until I come upon a quest where I'm like, oh, this is the HPO I need to build, and then I'll try to build it with luck. It's all RNG, but at least I have the option for RNG. So I'm keeping mine all separate. I know it's not possible because, guys, look at that. 1,177 out of 1,200. Did they even increase it yet? I don't think so. Let me see if I can purchase any more slots. Increase slots. No, they haven't increased it. Let's go check one more thing, actually. Let's go see if there's a gilted campaign. I don't know why I went to quest, but let's go into the medal list and check this out real quick. All right, so if I go to level up and I try to bring one of these over, let me undo that. Okay, down here, no gilting campaign still, and no 0 AP still. So 2 bad things, but that's what I was going to do with my HPO medals. A lot of people are asking, so I threw that out there. If you guys want a separate video in detail of how I'm going to do it, or just watching me do it to see how my luck is, let me know. I'll do that video for you guys. But let's get into the KR10 VIP. There's so much to talk about. There is so much to talk about. One, okay, we're all going to get a Sora EX and 4,400 jewels, which is like pretty good. These VIPs are really worth it when you think about it. Now, if you're free to play, or you're like, again, if you're free to play, stay free to play, because buying this is not going to change your game drastically. It's going to give you a boost, but it's not necessary to throw whatever you guys pay, $15 or me, $20, so $40 to gilt the medal. You can spend, here's advice, if you want to do really cheap and you have making brooms on the side, and you really like a VIP medal, I'm not saying this one, but if you ever come across where you really like that VIP medal, but you can only afford one VIP week, and then use 3 Mickey and brooms to gilt it. So you don't have to buy both VIPs if you're on that kind of budget. So you can buy one VIP week, throw 3 Mickey and brooms, and have a really good medal. So you guys don't have to buy both. Take that into consideration. But anybody else who's like considering spending money on the game, or are uncertain of how good this medal is it a time to buy? I would say no. You can skip this VIP and be totally safe. This medal, KR10, is basically a Jack and Sally with 1 extra turn, and it's a tier 5. The only difference is, is it's tier 5 and it's upright power compared to upright magic Jack and Sally and the 1 turn. So that's the difference between the 2 medals. So your Keyblade compositions are a little bit different when it comes to this one, if you actually want to use it for damage and not its effect. If you guys ever watched my old videos when I used Jack and Sally a lot, basically Jack and Sally was put onto every Keyblade. Every Keyblade, doesn't matter the slot. I put a blue medal on top of a green slot, on top of a red slot. It wasn't there for damage, it was there for its effect. Now that all these new medals came out, are basically, our game has become a lot more, it's become more difficult. And Jack and Sally just wasn't doing it anymore for me, especially because I didn't gilt my Jack and Sally. I didn't waste the making brooms on them. My Jack and Sally kind of fell behind because you have to wait 2 turns for its full potential. And its full potential for 2 turning is only on certain quests. Same for this medal. If any quest says 1 turning, this guy only has so much of a potential to do something. But I'm going to go into detail when it comes to this. Again, when people ask, is this VIP worth it? I would say the medal itself, you can skip out. But VIP, when it comes to a special limited edition medal, is always the best time to buy. Because you get 4,400 jewels. You usually get other quests with it. But because EX Sora is there, we're not allowed to have all those special quests. Because, you know, EX Sora is enough to skip all those really good quests for us. Like Chippendales, the farming quest, whatever. That's their equivalent of taking away all the quests because they gave us that Sora. I don't think that's a good thing, but whatever. KR10 though, let's talk about him in detail. Again, VIP 4,400 jewels and 5 medals at the moment is a good price, especially when you guys think of it this way. You spend 3,000 jewels to pull 1 tier 4 or tier 5 during most of the banners, whereas you spend $20, which is normally 3,000 jewels, but you get 5 medals. So if you count that up, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, that's 15,000 jewels saved because you didn't have to pull 5 times to get 5 medals. If you kind of want to look at it that way, you got 5 medals and you got 4,400 jewels, which is really nice. So that's that for the price. Now let's go look for my Jack and Sally for a second, and let's talk about KR10 in detail. So 6-star attack, Jack and Sally. I don't know where you are. Let's sort this a little better. You're a buffer and a debuffer. There you go. So Jack and Sally is a 2.54 multiplier. I only got 3 dots on this one, but yeah, it starts at a 2.54. Max guild, I think it's around 3 or close to 3, or a little bit less, like 2 point something. But the thing here to take in consideration when you compare it to a KR10 is KR10 has this for 3 turns. It's exactly the same, 3 turns, but it's tier 5. So its multiplier, I have it written down here already, or calculated already. Its max multiplier, when you fully max it out, all dots are filled up, these dots right here. Its base multiplier is 3.12 if your HP is full. So if your HP is full, which is very easy to have unless you're using like Maleficent Dragon, if your HP is full, he does 3.12. And if you times that by 150% guilt, he has a 7.8 multiplier, which is really average, if you ask me, guys. Because buffers, 2.54. When you look at this one right here, he's not max guilted KR8, and it's got a 3.16. Obviously, there's a condition. It has to be on the lower of the slot number. But the point is that a lot of medals nowadays, let me just switch this to strength and attack so we can actually see my medals properly. Let's take another medal like older medals. World Final Fantasy Yuna, a 2.92 multiplier. That's an older medal. Newer medal, 4.13. Free farmable medal, 3.36, starting off maxed. Then we got medals like EX medals, which don't have a lot, but they really make it up for their attack, 7,700, and their skill, which is 3 up, 3 down. Where KR10 is 1 up, 1 down, any attribute, but you really got to look at it as, then you got medals like this where lower the defense by 2, but again, this multiplier is a 3.59 at max guild. So that point something, that 0.4, 47, when you multiply it by the 150%, which is just times 2.5, it really adds up to make this medal even better. Now, my point I'm trying to make here is that Jack and Sally was broken. It wasn't supposed to be released the way it was released for us, but I stopped using Jack and Sally. I stopped using Jack and Sally because we got medals. Let me just sort this out. We got medals, see, 1 up, 1 down. All these medals do a 1 up, 1 down. Now, KR10 is any attribute 1 up, 1 down. But then we got this free medal. If we want a speed medal, we got this guy right here, Sora EX. It does 2 tiers up, 2 tiers down of only speed, but the point is your speed's covered. So now KR10 is only good for 2 attributes. Now we need magic and power. So what do we got for magic? We got KR8. Now I know this is not, from this point on, it's not guaranteed. The EX Sora was guaranteed for everybody 1 copy or anyone who continues to buy VIP. But my point here is raises magic strength by 2 tiers and lowers magic defense by 2 tiers. So we have our tribute covered. We do. And then we got medals like Illustrated Kairi. It's not multiple turns, but again, 1 up, 1 down. Another speed one, 1 up, 1 down. 0.2 Kairi, 1 up, 1 down. So why pay for KR10? Another one, Illustrated Leon here, 1 up, 1 down. So the thing is there, the pattern's there, guys. There's lots of medals that do 1 up, 1 down. So why KR10? Why is KR10 a VIP medal? Now, KR10 I think is a little late. It should have been it should have been earlier, guys. To tell you the truth, it should have been earlier. It would have had more of an impact in the game than the impact it's going to have now. Now, the only reason that KR10 is so much better than any of these medals here is because KR10 is guaranteed if you dish out the money. So if you buy both VIPs, you can roll perfect traits if you're lucky enough and guilt the medal without RNG. You don't have to keep pulling. That goes with any VIP medal, guys. Any VIP medal you buy, you take away the RNG of trying to pull and pulling the medal in a 10 pull. So you get 8 of them guaranteed. That's an extra trait roll and re-roll on guilt. And you get to guilt the guy. So the KR10 shines out a little bit better because you can guilt it and you can trade it. Now that we have that, we can guilt it and we can trade it. Does it make it still a good VIP medal? I would consider thinking about it this way, guys. The only thing that KR10 is going to be good for is for raid bosses. You want to go for that plus 40 raid damage, because raid bosses do not need you to 1 turn. Raid bosses need you to do multiple turns. So if you had 80% raid damage on there and you do bosses that have 3 turns, like the one we just did had 3 turns. You kill both arms, you had its attack, there you go, 3 turns, the medal buffs for 3 turns. Again, though, a lot of our attack medals, especially if you're lucky and you pulled EX medals, they have buffs on them already, and your buffer has a buffer, and your SP restore has buffs as well. So right here, if you don't have extra attack, that's 2 up, 2 down, and if you add in a KR10, that's 3 up, 3 down on the first turn. And if you go all the way to the 3rd turn, that is 5 up, 5 down. If you have any other buffers, then you're solid. But the point being here is that it's not that amazing. It's the reason I stopped using Jack and Sally, is because I could use medals like Kiart Sora here. I can use medals like Kiart 8 here. So why would I use a medal that's only 1 up, 1 down? And the answer here is, if you want a turtle quest where it says you don't have to complete in 1 turn, like the organization event quest, if you have to do so many turns, you can buff over and over and over again. And in that situation where it's not a raid boss, you would want extra attack. So in 1 turn you have 2 buffs up, 2 buffs down, which is really strong. And then on the 2nd turn, 2 buffs up and 2 buffs down. But take into consideration, when we get damage contest, we can't hit with extra attack. So if you ever want to use that medal on a damage contest, do not put extra attack on it. And then quests like Organization 13 that we just had for Sykes B, they had counters on their head. So again, KR10 is AoE. It would make all their counters go down, and then they would use their attacks on you. It's only 2 hits, which is really good. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But the point is that if you get extra attack, you can really screw yourself over in some situations. Again, damage contest and those quests that have enemies that have numbers above their heads. So KR10 is good and then not good for turtle modes, because if they add counters, it makes KR10 bad. If they don't add counters, KR10 shines, especially with extra attack. So my recommendation is that if you want a good rating medal, this medal can do it for you, because it will buff every Keyblade. You don't have to put on the proper buff, proper Keyblade slot, because again, I use Jack and Sally for its skill. 1 up, 1 down. You're going to use KR10 for the same situation. Blah, 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 blah. So where does KR10 sit? KR10 sits on any Keyblade again, but you would look at situations where KR10 can sit on the Stroke of Midnight in the beginning, do its buffs, and then Kairi could be over here, or you can copy KR10 if you like, especially if you have like an extra attack, KR, Sky, Beginnings, or Bonds. Then you got obviously the Fenrir. It fits in multiple places. Anywhere on this Fenrir has upright in the beginning, which works out nicely. So you do have options. Another option is not on the Stroke of Midnight, obviously, but I mean if you want the medal to do damage. If you want the medal to do damage, you're going to go for the proper tribute, which you're looking at not a good idea over here. It's not your main damage dealer. This guy's not a main damage dealer. But the Moogle Glory, does it have anything? No, it's all up right there. So yeah, your options for using it as a power attack, there's only like Fenrir, which is guaranteed, and Stroke of Midnight in the beginning, which doesn't get a ×6 buff from 0.2 carry, which is kind of sad. So really, its potential for doing damage itself is only on the Fenrir. If you want as an attack medal, you can put it over here, or you can put it after your 0.2 carry. So it's going to buff everything, and it's also going to get 0.2 carries attack. Besides that, you're looking at Treasure Trove. Treasure Trove, you're looking at what? The third slot as well, which has a pretty good multiplier, which kind of sucks because the Treasure Trove, I hate that this multiplier is over here, but at the same time, it's certain situations. But you can see that it's kind of awkward for this medal to be anywhere, to be in an actual damage dealer. Now, you might think Coliseum, -60, -60. Again, it's only a 1 up, 1 down, and its multiplier is only a 3.12, which is very weak. Again, it's a tier 5, so it goes up pretty high, but like tier 3's got a 3.36, but that's because it's a tier 3. It's got to be pushed a little bit higher than the average tier 5. But again, that's multiplier, guys. It's not that crazy. It's not VIP status. It just guarantees you guilt and a trait. As you guys can see, 3.08. There's a condition, but the point there is that you're looking at medals 3.65 AoE. It doesn't have a buff, but we got so many buffers in the game now that our damage dealers don't need buffs. So KR10 is not really a damage dealer. He's supposed to be there for utility, but his utility is very situational. And that's where I just want to get at, where you don't have to be like, oh, if I don't get this medal, I'm going to fall behind. This medal is not going to change anyone's gameplay drastically. It's going to be really, really good for Union Cross, really good for raiding, and really good for turtle mode. Besides that, KR10 is, in my opinion, average. It's average, it's too late, but it's not a bad medal. It will do damage. I know you guys are going to leave in the comment section like, oh, you know what you're talking about, this medal's going to do damage, it's going to be powerful, this, that. Of course it is. It's a VIP medal. You're paying for a guaranteed guild, and you're paying for those traits. If you get -60, -60, it will do damage in Coliseum. But if you're someone who buys VIP all the time, there's better options. There's better options, and if you're someone who spends a lot of money in the game, or just consistently pulls when you want to pull, then this medal is going to be outshined by a lot of stuff. Again, the only thing I see really good for your KR10 is raiding. Raiding medal, very, very good. If you get 80% raid damage on it, it's going to be your buffer, and it's going to get you some good lucks. Besides that, he's very situational, guys. Very situational. I could be wrong. This is just the way I see it. But when I try to put it on a Keyblade, or I try to think about a situation, and I've only thought about this today, guys. I didn't do any research ahead of time. I didn't go look at anyone else's opinion. This is just me looking at the medal and judging it by medals we already have. So, PsyXB, free medal, 6.41 multiplier. You know what I mean? There is strong medals out there already. The only thing that makes it really good is that, again, you pay for a guaranteed guild and trait roll. So, it's going to be good no matter what. I just want to break it down into where it's going to shine the most and where it's not going to shine. So, take it as it is, guys. That's just me talking about KR10. Again, I stopped using Jack and Sally, and this medal is Jack and Sally, but for an extra turn. The only difference is that it's an upright power, and now it can do some damage. But when you really look at the game, guys, story mode, proud mode, very easy to beat. Very easy to beat with almost nothing. So, when you look at a VIP medal or any medal you're going to pull, you really got to pull that medal into Coliseum or very hard quest. And where it stands, KR10 is better as a rating medal instead of anything else. Because everything else asks you guys one turn. If you can't one turn it, you lose a Mickey head. And most likely a Mickey head has a reward you want. So, that's all I got to say about KR10, guys. Yes, it's going to be a good medal. Yes, it'll do damage. Yes, it'll change someone's gameplay, especially if they don't have good guilted medals. Of course, any medal you guys guilt will change your gameplay. But to justify it as a VIP medal, a little too late. That's all I got to say, and that's pretty much where I'm going to end it, guys. I'm not bashing the medal. These videos are not me saying, oh, this medal is garbage, because every medal will make you stronger, especially if you guilted. But we really gotta look at it compared to what they gave us and what's to come. But either way, if you're gonna buy VIP, you're gonna buy VIP. So I don't know why you're watching this video if you're gonna buy VIP regardless. But for those of you who are deciding, is this the time to buy VIP? I'd say hold off. KR11 is really nice, and there's other ones as well coming. I don't want to spoil too much. I'll spoil just enough as we need it, guys. So if you're on the edge of buying this VIP, not buying the VIP, the only thing really good about buying this VIP is 4,400 jewels, which is really nice. But if you're only going to spend that gift card that you have, or this is only your one time you're going to buy VIP, I would say wait it off. Hold off, guys. Again, my opinion. You guys can say yours down in the comment section. At least give a reason why you think that this VIP is good. I do think it's good. Again, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm just putting it where it belongs. So, that's all I got for you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.